And those are the words of Daniel Dubois. He says, when I beat Usyk, I can fight him next. I win. I smash his head and I go home with golden gloves. Dubois says he's a different man after knocking out AJ, surviving Miller, and stopping Hrgovic. With the hashtag Usyk rematch set for July 19th, the Brit is already plotting beyond it, and Fury's name is circled in red. He say Fury will be desperate to get back into the mix, he told Sky Sports. He's betting that when he becomes the first British undisputed heavyweight champ since Lennox Lewis, the Gypsy King won't resist a shot at the throne. Hashtag Daniel Dubois, hashtag Tyson Fury, hashtag Usyk Dubois 2, hashtag undisputed heavyweights. And let me counterpunch. I like the idea of Daniel Dubois, and I'm glad that he's sticking up for himself. However, and whoever is coaching him, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. I don't think they should harp on the low blow unless they're just trying to rev Usyk up. And in that case, if he is getting under Usyk's skin, I say, by God, keep doing it. But this here is a good idea. However, if I'm Daniel Dubois, mentioning Tyson Fury, a guy that we don't even know that's unretired yet, we pretty much figure that he's still going to come back. But he doesn't even have a fight date. We know he's training, right? But, you know, to call out Tyson Fury, I think, you know, it's ambitious, but I don't think it's necessary right now. Why? Because he has bigger fish to fry right now. He is a guy that beat him, that made him quit within 9 rounds, or 8 rounds, rather. And I think he's the guy that he needs to focus on. See, when these guys get a few wins under their belts, they start projection. They start being ambitious. And when you start doing that, your energy, your focus is not where it's supposed to be. A lot of times, you know, look at Ryan Garcia. All Ryan Garcia was really focused at was Devin Haney. And what happened to Ryan? Ryan lost, right? Ryan lost. And now, where does he go? We don't know where he's going to go, to be fair. You see what I mean? And I think, if anything at all, Daniel Dubois needs to focus on Alexander Usyk. You know, like Tyson Fury, I think the Gypsy King, you should really call him the Jinky King, because he's jinky. He's a jinky guy. I mean, whenever it's a fight that he's involved or he's that figure at the end of the rainbow, it's always an upset, if you notice. Look at AJ. Look at himself against AJ. You know, look at Deontay. Deontay thought that I'm going to go through Tyson Fury or whatever, and that didn't happen. You see what I mean? So it's either he's the reason, or if he is the next fighter, something always happens to stop the fight that he intends on fighting from not fighting and not happening. So that may be Daniel Dubois. Now, I like the confidence, but normally when you talk about someone else or you mention other fighters, you can't be 100% focused on who you're up against. That's just the status quo. That's normally how it goes, especially someone that is like has such tunnel vision like Daniel Dubois. When he starts talking about this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy, you know, and if you really think about it, that's why I thought he was going to be upset by Joseph Parker. And ultimately, you know, through the quick of the draw or the luck of the draw, he didn't fight Joseph Parker. Why? Because he was talking about Usyk. Now he has Usyk. Now he's talking about Tyson Fury. Listen, Tyson Fury does whatever Tyson Fury wants to do. He may not give a shit about that undisputed title. He may not. You know, but I am glad that Daniel Dubois has spoken out, because Frank Warren, which is the manager of both Tyson Fury and Daniel Dubois, has already stated he didn't even really want to see those guys fight, because he knows it's more money to fight them or to match and pair them up with some other guy like Eddie Hearns' fighters, like Anthony Joshua and others, to say, you know, to name a few. So that's what his goal is. His goal is not to see his best fighters fight. His goal is to take his best fighters and make the most money from his best fighters fighting other competition from other promotional companies. You see what I'm saying? So I don't really think that Frank really wants that and fancies that. But if Daniel wants it and they offer Tyson Fury that offer, it's up to Tyson Fury if he takes it. And if he doesn't take it, people will then question, what the hell are you still doing here, Tyson? You know what I mean? Go back to retirement land and I'll see you at the bar. You see what I'm saying? So, so it would kind of beat the grass to startle the snake situation when it does come, if it happens for Danny Dubois. Now, if he beats Usyk, that will be a great accomplishment. That means he's totally redeemed himself, because fighting really Joe Joyce wouldn't really matter, because Joe Joyce is nowhere where he needed to be. But beating Usyk would definitely give him those redemption stripes and have him possibly on the pound-for-pound list if Alexander Usyk's there. Right, to be fair. But again, I'm being ambitious because I'm thinking, like a positive Dubois camp should be thinking. You know what I mean? But I do think, before, he shouldn't have made this comment before he beat Usyk. It's just kind of reckless, and it's not all that smart, because Alexander Usyk, I don't think, based on what they're doing, he may fight better mad. Because I did see when Usyk did get up, and what did Usyk do? He made it very hard for Daniel Dubois, and he made Daniel Dubois do the Colin Kaepernick. You see what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He may have got himself in a situation like this before. However, we'll see. But you guys tell me what you think of Daniel Dubois calling out Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!